your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
I had to look this up to make sure I was right on it. So I did do a little research here, Jamie. When I hear Billy McKinney, and he's playing for the Rangers right now, there was an old NBA player named Billy McKinney.
Okay.
Back in the late 70s and into the mid 80s, his last team was with the Chicago Bulls. But he wasn't. I mean, he later was, a vice president of operations for the Bulls, et cetera, and others. But it just kind of brought me back to some NBA days. And I didn't know this. His nickname, Billy McKinney, the basketball player, his nickname was the Crazed Hummingbird.
It's quite a nickname.
It's quite a nickname, and I don't know why. And then going back to our discussion of Friendship taking on Midland Christian, last year's score was 35-34 Tigers. And going into that game, and perhaps why we thought this was going to be a pushover for the Tigers, they had lost 3 of their first 4 ball games. Okay. Midland Christian had. Okay. So that's perhaps why we took them so lightly, or at least maybe I took them so lightly. This year, coming into this game, they're 3-1. Their one loss was the opening week game to Graham, 17-7. Okay. So I guess probably a lot of folks would say, well, Graham, they've always got a good football program, right?
Okay.
For the most part. I don't know how much attention you'll pay to this, or if you pay any attention to this, but do you have much interest in the Ryder Cup?
I hope U.S. wins.
Okay. And would that be kind of the extent of your watch of that? Okay.
Yeah. I
just thought this part was interesting. The United States Ryder Cup players are going to be paid for the first time, and Scotty Scheffler and most of his teammates, I believe, are going to donate their entire stipends to charity.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. They're given $300,000 to donate to a charity of their choice, and $200,000 to spend as they wish. Keegan Bradley, who's the captain, said he didn't understand the criticism of players being paid. The European captain, Luke Donald, has said multiple times that European players rejected the idea of being paid for some participating in the event. He said every one of them was like, this isn't a week to get paid. We have such a strong purpose in this team and what we play for. Xander Schauffele is also going to donate his entire stipend. And he said this to reporters, you guys keep talking about it and try to make this negative. It's whatever everyone views it as. There's a lot of pride that comes into playing in one of these. And yes, we're happy to get paid for this. And yes, I plan on donating it. It's something that selfishly will make me feel good about what I do. And then Schauffele had said back
it's not like they were holding out, asking for money or anything, right?
Right. No. It's something the PGA player, the PGA players voted to do this, and the PGA, did this structure. So it's not like these guys were saying, hey, pay me or I'm not playing kind of deal, right? Mm-hmm. Schauffele had said back in December, he said the plan was for players not to get a single dime. He said, I just see it as a whole lot of money going to charity, and we're going to take a lot of crap. Right.
Just people looking for something to be mad about.
Something to be mad about, right. Something to be mad about. The last time they played, there was controversy and conversation because Patrick Cantlay apparently didn't wear a hat, and they saw that as a protest for him not being compensated. And so he was asked about that, and he said, as I said a million times, the hat didn't fit. And this year he has received one that does fit. Again, like you said, people looking for a reason to stir up trouble.
Yeah, just people love drama, I guess.
Mm-hmm. They love to stir it up a little bit. And so that's kind of what's going on there. 6:37 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to doublet973.com for that of the mobile app. Visual Edge IT hotline is open too at 806-771-0973. I guess this is how it starts, but and I'm not going to read you the whole list because the Pro Football Hall of Fame announced the 2026 nominees. There's 128 of them.
It's a sizable list.
Okay. Drew Brees, is he a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Yes.
Larry Fitzgerald, is he a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Yes.
Okay. Those are among the highlights of the first year eligibility players. Others on the list, and I think these guys are good, but not Hall of Famers. Phillip Rivers and Alex Smith.
Yeah, I wouldn't vote for either one of those guys.
Yeah, they're on the outside looking.
Good stretches for both of them.
Okay, how about from the tight end spot, Greg Olson, whom you see on the NFL on Fox, and Jason Witten. Is Jason Witten a Hall of Famer?
Man, I'd definitely say Jason Witten.
Yeah.
I'm not as high on Greg Olson, but he probably deserves to be up there too.
Do you like him as a broadcaster?
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, okay. Okay, how about from a running back standpoint, Frank Gore or LaShawn McCoy?
I feel like McCoy's career was so incredibly short.
Yes.
Gore lasted a little bit longer.
I mean, his just is a longevity thing there more than anything.
Either that or longevity.
Oh, that's the word I was trying to think of the word I was telling we were talking the other day, me and the lucky lady, because somebody on TV was struggling with a word, and I said, there's a word that I struggle with.
You couldn't remember it?
I couldn't remember
Yeah.
it. Longevity.
I have multiple myself.
Yeah,
so.
I just couldn't. I said so I wasn't.
That's the funny part. You can never remember what it is.
Yeah.
What did I mess up with?
So I wasn't going to be critical of the person on the news that was struggling with a word, because I was like, well, I got plenty of words that I struggle with. So
I think I would pass on the Hall of Fame for both of those two.
Okay, I think I agree with you. Returning finalists include, and these guys, I feel like, tell me if you think all these guys are going to get in. Eli Manning.
Yes.
Fred Taylor.
Yes.
Steve Smith Sr. Mm-hmm. Saw a lot of him with the Utah-Texas Tech game in the pregame. How about Reggie Wayne?
He was really good. He was the sidekick to Marvin Harrison, but he was still really good. He's a little bit more of a question mark.
Terrell Suggs?
Yeah, probably.
And then what about Darren Woodson?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too. All right.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
The Morning Drive, time for this day in sports history. Today is September the 25th, 2025. 9/25/25. There you go, Jeff, with this day in sports history.
All that checked out.
Yeah.
1924.
He was thinking about it.
Can't always be sure sometimes. Have to look.
That is completely fair, sir.
Malcolm Campbell sets a world auto speed record. 146.16 miles per hour. Or approximately 20 miles slower than Chuck drove on the Marcia Sharp this morning.
I was tooling along this morning. I was minding my P's and Q's.
1965. This day in 1965 is the last day in the history of the planet that a former Red Raider baseball player would not have a Major League Baseball home run. That home run would be hit tomorrow by Chuck Harrison for the Houston Astros on the 26th.
Wow, how about that? That's pretty cool.
Yes. Is this me stretching the I need something that a Red Raider has done every day for this day in sports history a little? Yes, but it worked, and I'm okay with it. 1986. Houston Astro Mike Scott no hits the San Francisco Giants 2-0.
Man, that was a good team. That was a good team.
Yes. 1992, Sparky Anderson ties Huey Jennings as the Detroit Tigers' winningest manager. And in 2016, Tour Championship Men's Golf, Roy McIlroy of Northern Ireland wins a playoff with Kevin Chappell and Ryan Moore. Biggest winner prize in golf, $10 million.
Nice.
It is National Quesadilla Day.
Okay. Chicken or beef?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Why be stingy with a quesadilla?
90% of the time I go for chicken.
Yeah,
I
I would.
enjoy both thoroughly.
I'm more on the chicken side with you.
Happy birthday, Alicia Robertson, 41 today. Will Smith, 57. Catherine Zeta-Jones, 56. Michael Douglas, 81. Scottie Pippen, 60. Chauncey Billups, 49. Mark Hamill, 74. And Heather Locklear is 64. And on this day, 1978, a Pacific Southwest Airlines jet collides midair with a small Cessna over San Diego, killing 144 people. The wreckage of the plane falls into the populous neighborhood, doing extensive damage on the ground. Fuel of the 727 burst into a massive fireball upon impact. Witnesses on the ground reported that she saw her apples and oranges bake in the trees.
Oh, my goodness.
The plane's nose dived straight into San Diego's North Park neighborhood, destroying 22 homes and killing 7 people on the ground. All 135 people on the 727 were killed, as well as both Cessna pilots. Cause of this accident? People not paying attention to their warnings in tower and in planes.
I want to say, and I don't know if this is still the case or not, but when you used to fly into San Diego, there's an office building right by the airport, and I want to say that literally the wheels are, I don't know, 6 to 12 feet off the roof for like every landing that goes in. That's how close that office building is.
Wow.
And I don't know if that building is still there or if they've changed the approach or things like that, but it used to be going into San Diego was one of the diciest for like a commercial airliner.
Oh no, never been to San Diego.
Okay.
But that is this day's sports history.
This day in sports history. 6:49 this morning here on the morning drive. Take your
That is accurate.
You know, sometimes bad things happen. Let's see. We've got football tonight. It's kind of an okay game. Seattle and Arizona. The Seahawks, I think, have played a little bit better than what people are thinking. But I mean, the Seahawks, much like the Mariners, they get lost up there in the Pacific Northwest. I mean, you've got to really do something like what Cal Raleigh has done, getting to 60 home runs before you're like, oh yeah, that's Seattle. You know, I mean, Ken Griffey Jr. kind of suffered from that when he was a player there.
I don't know, man.
I mean, he's pretty good.
Like he was really popular.
No, I know, but I mean,
He was like the face of baseball.
I don't know. You kind of just forget about him a little bit. I mean, just because of, you know, they're up there on the West and you know, playing in the middle of the night when everybody's asleep, and you got to really be great to stand out. So I mean, that's just my opinion.
I'll take your word for it.
Oh,
I feel like Ken Griffey Jr. was pretty well known.
No, yeah,
everybody was following it.
He's pretty well known, but I mean, I just think that there was a point in time that you kind of got lost with him. At least that's what it felt like.
Would that be the massive amount of times that he was injured and out for
there's that.
extended periods of time?
Sure, there's that.
Or was it when he was with the Reds and people forgot that he played with the Reds for a while?
Well, there was that one time where he fell asleep in the clubhouse when he was supposed to be hitting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People maybe forgot about him then, like he forgot that he was supposed to be batting.
Mm-hmm. Big 12 football tomorrow night. How do you feel about these Friday night games?
I'm a fan.
Okay. TCU and Arizona State will play. That should be a really good game. That will come to us from
best Big 12 game of the weekend.
Tempe. TCU ranked 24th. Arizona State at 3-1, unranked right now. Okay. Mm-hmm. Houston at 3-0 will take on Oregon State at 0-4. If Oregon State were to win this game, this would really change the narrative of Houston, wouldn't it?
No question. Yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. Do you don't have any angst or doesn't? I guess being worried about interfering with high school games and stuff like that, all that's out the window, isn't it?
No, I understand that for certain people that are high school football fans. I get it. I understand that they would prefer it not be there. I understand. Yeah, that makes total sense to me. Me personally, I mean, I kind of was joking with Choice about this yesterday. Obviously, I watch the Friendship Tigers partly because that's where my kid goes, and also because I want to see his kid playing. And I got that on my laptop while I'm watching that Big 12 game on Friday night. And so
you're good. You're happy.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. But I mean, there'll be a time this season where I'll probably more than once go to a couple games, but. I totally understand the parents that are really into the high school football and think it should be reserved for high school football or whatever. So go. Mm-hmm. Nobody's making you stay home and watch the Big 12 game.
No.
Go to the game.
Go to the game.
Yeah, and every day in our lives we have choices to make.
Sure.
Right? You're going to leave here and you're going to go. Am I going to go left out of the parking lot? Am I going to go right out of the parking lot? Mm-hmm. Tomorrow, dinner, you're going to be like, am I going to have chicken wings or am I going to have nachos?
Beef quesadillas or chicken quesadillas?
You got decisions to make. I mean, nobody's making you do anything.
No gun to your head or anything like that.
If you miss the first half of TCU and Arizona State, I don't think your life will be in shambles because you went to a high school football game.
Your life in shambles. Oh, man. There's plenty of us that probably go, it's in shambles anyway. What the hell?
Here's what we all need to figure out. The Big 12 is not scheduling around our schedules.
No.
Okay?
No, nobody's.
Because it works out great for some people when they put a game at a certain time, and it works out terrible for other people. Mm-hmm. Figure it out. It's not about you.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
With Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire, I'm Chuck Heinz. It is great to have you with us today on the Morning Drive. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to doublet973.com for that, or the mobile app. Visual Edge IT hotline at 2 is open. All right, so the Red Raiders going to play some baseball this weekend, Jamie. And is this something that you think could become an annual deal where you play a team that, whether it's somebody that's an old rival or a new rival or just something that you could see for fall ball that would kind of pique the interest of everybody?
Yeah, I would assume that they're going to continue to do this just because I think it's a better way to evaluate your players. Playing against other opponents than just playing against your own guys. So yeah, I think it is something that you'll continue to see Coach Tadlock in the program do.
So they'll play Texas, and they'll play is it just one game, or are they going to play two?
1 12-inning game.
1 12-inning game, and this will be in Round Rock on Saturday, and first pitch is at 1 o'clock, and the gate receipts are going to assist those that were involved in the tragedy this summer with the flooding in the Kerrville, thank you. Yeah, that area. The camps and stuff.
Hill Country, whatever you want to call it.
Hill Country, yeah. I was thinking that, and I was like, well, for sure as I say Hill Country, you don't know where the Hill Country is, Chuck. But I think it's really cool, and I guess you'll get to take almost everybody that you want to take and try to get.
Oh, I think you'll take them all.
Yeah, try to
12 innings. Yeah,
try to get as many people in as you can, and my first question is why not play 2 or why not play 2 days? But maybe it's just timing and things like that, and they want to maximize, 1 day versus in the future maybe it becomes 2 days or becomes a series.
Yeah, or it might be as simple as them wanting to get back on, 5-hour drive.
Sure.
Whatever. Afterwards. But, I think Coach Tadlock said earlier this week that he expected to throw 8 pitchers in 12 innings because, obviously guys, they haven't built up their arms to pitch 5 and 6 innings or whatever. So probably some of the starters will throw a couple of innings and some of the relievers will just be out there for 1 inning. And then I would imagine you'll see everybody get to hit.
Who are you most anxious to see in a competition like this?
I'm most anxious to see the pitching staff.
Okay.
All of them.
All of them. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's the big question mark, and it was, your biggest weakness last year, right? So you want to see how some of these guys step up in year 2 or year 3, whatever, to see if they're taking a step forward and you're able to compete better on the mound than you were a year ago. You want to see these new. Got a new pitching coach and a new director of pitching development and see how they're doing with the guys and seeing what kind of progress they're making. So, pitching is definitely – I have a lot of confidence in this offense. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you're going to average 12 runs a game or that every game is going to be great. You'll be shut down by good pitchers sometimes, but I have a lot of confidence in the depth and what you have offensively for this baseball team. But just kind of wait and see, right, with the pitching staff.
So Texas has, I think I read this, 23 new players on their team, which that seems like a huge number. But then
we have 24 now.
Yeah, 24. Okay. So again, both numbers seem huge in terms of turnover. Or is that normal in these times that we're in?
Well, if you're talking about the Red Raiders, you struggled. You were 20-33 last year, so you're going to make changes, right? That also you have guys that, because you used to be allowed a roster of 40, now that roster is cut down to 34, so there's going to be a lot of change there with guys coming and going. Right now, the Red Raiders have 43 on the roster, and they'll have to get down to 34. There's some exceptions of guys that don't count against that number, and so I think the number for the Red Raiders will probably be like 36, but we'll have to wait and exactly see what happens there. There are different rules that have been put into place with this thing for the next couple of years as they transition to the lower roster number. They don't want guys getting cut that would have that would have been on rosters otherwise that are already here. Okay. So let's say there's a pitcher or a player that was a marginal player last year. Okay, maybe he didn't play very much, and heading into year 2. Now they've gone from the roster of 40 to 34, and he probably would get cut this year. They don't want that kid getting cut. You were brought in, told you'd be able to be on the team, make the team. You made the team last year, so there's exceptions to the rule. Okay, even if they're marginal players. But like your best player, you're not going to be able to tell them, hey, Logan Hughes is one of those guys. He doesn't count against the 34. He's first team All Big 12, but we were going to cut him. So you're not going to be able to do that with Logan
creative roster management there.
Yes.
Who do you think, of the position players, are you curious of how shortstop's going to look, or second base, or
I think that for me, the left side of the infield, Lincoln Garcia is he's come in to play some short, and he's competing with Coleman Ryan, who was the starter at the end of last season. Garcia is a California kid that spent a year playing prep ball in Florida, and he's legit. His body kind of looks like Orlando Garcia. That's who Gus compared him to. I kind of feel like he looks a little bit more like Damian Bravo, so a big-bodied shortstop, but strong arm and can really hit. Can really hit. And so I think that's going to be a good battle because Coleman Ryan can really play defense for you at shortstop. And so you kind of got the offensive player, you got the defensive player there. We'll see who wins out, and if that's just a matter of if who's hitting better, or if Garcia's hitting better, but costing you runs defensively. And so far, I haven't seen any defensive issues or anything like that. But the ball really pops off his bat, so he has the potential to be a big time factor for you immediately coming in. Definitely does not look like a freshman. The body is lake ready, as Coach Tadlock would say, right?
Yeah.
And at third base, it looks like they would like to see Connor Schaus be the starter there. He's the transfer from Georgia Tech. He was a highly rated prospect going to Georgia Tech last year and just didn't get a lot of time at Georgia Tech. Can play all over the field, versatile guy that can hit. And yesterday had a triple and a single in his 3 ABs. But looks like he's got a good chance to be the starting third baseman. So I would say that left side of the infield is kind of where I'm looking. I think the catching is also, that's a battle there. There's 4. Red Raiders feel good about the 4 guys that they have at catcher. I can't imagine though they're going to keep all 4, but I'm not sure.
Is there one returning player who maybe has developed, or you felt like that was like really coming on at the end that you're anxious to see in this type of competition?
We could talk about Logan Hughes, who was terrific for you last year. You could talk about Robin Villeneuve, who was phenomenal offensively, defensively, all the above, and a great leader who's come back. Tracer Lopez, when moved to the leadoff spot, was terrific down the stretch for the Red Raiders last year. But I would say 2 returners that I'm really paying attention to are the 2 guys that maybe penciled in to be outfielders, and that Kyler Thompson and Jace Souza. Souza was a freshman that was injured for most of the year, came on at the end and did some good things. And Thompson, 29 for 29 in stolen bases, but I think they'd like to see the batting average raise a little bit and him get on base a little bit more. So those are 2 guys that I think are talented, but you're looking for them offensively to kind of take that next step.
All right, so the Red Raiders in action against Texas on Saturday at 1 o'clock, and they'll play that game at Round Rock.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
All right, gentlemen, today's question, not surprisingly, is going to be about Red Raider football.
Okay, makes sense.
We're all pretty high on our Red Raiders right now.
There's no doubt.
We're trying to figure out exactly how high.
I may get higher by Friday.
Okay, we are. My question for you guys today, and it's kind of a 2-parter, okay? I'm giving you the option to say never, all right? Mm-hmm. When do you think the Red Raiders will lose their first game? A, and you can say never. And B, what do you think they'll be ranked when they lose that game?
They're 12 right now, right?
Correct.
Okay. Man, until you beat them, I just don't think you can feel good about it. I'm going to say at this point in time, my thought is you're going to lose. I hate saying this, but until you beat them there, you got at some point in time you got to show up and prove it. That's November 1st at Kansas State, and I think you'll be ranked.
So you'd be 8-0.
Mm-hmm. I think you'd be 9th at that point in time, and I think you'd get that ranking because you would have beaten, I don't think, a great Kansas team, a decent Kansas team, and a win at Arizona State, which when you get to that point, they may not be ranked as high as Utah was, but that could be considered a really, really good win, okay? Mm-hmm. And then you'd have the free space on bingo against Oklahoma State. So I'll say K-State, and you'd be ranked 9th at that point in time because teams above you would have lost and fallen out, and you'd be undefeated.
You're going to win 4 more games and only move up 3 spots.
Well, yeah.
I mean, obviously, it takes teams in front of you to lose.
It takes teams in front of you to lose, too. Gets harder and harder when you get to this spot.
Okay.
I have said it for like 4 years. I am not picking a win over the Wildcats until you do one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care where the game is played. I don't care what the rosters look like. I am not picking a win over the Kansas State Wildcats until they do it, because I'm tired of people overlooking that game.
Mm-hmm.
They're a really bad football team right now, though.
They are.
I would feel better about answering this question next week, so I kind of hope Jamie brings this back next week, because we'll see what Kansas State looks like this week. As an opportunity to kind of bounce back a little bit, because they were off last week. Can they get some things fixed?
But even then, they're playing UCF this week, right?
Right, and if they lose, which I don't know is out of the realm of possibilities.
I think if they lose, and that's at home,
I will feel better about this game.
That would tell us something. If
Yes.
they win, I don't know how much it's going to tell us. Because we really don't know how good UCF is.
So I'm still picking the Kansas State loss. I'm saying you're going to be a top 5 team when that happens.
Ooh.
So you're
That'll make us even feel worse.
Uh-huh.
I mean, being a top 10 team
would be awesome.
Would make you feel bad, but you're going to tell me you're a top 5 team and you're losing there. Ay caramba. Jamie?
Okay, I'm really nervous about October 18th. So I've got you only getting to 6-0, and I think you will be ranked 8th heading into that game against Arizona State.
Okay.
I'm really nervous about that one. So you guys have us getting to 8-0. I have the Red Raiders getting to 6-0.
Yeah.
Now, don't quote me on any of this, because the week of the game, I may flip to the Red Raiders winning. See how we look the next 2 weeks. See how they look the next 2 weeks. But
And to the guy in the chat line, so we beat at ASU and then lose to Kansas State. Cool. Listen, man, Kansas State has permanent residency in my head for free.
we're well aware.
I don't.
You didn't have to tell us.
Hide from that.
I'm with you, Jeff. I'm with you.
I don't hide from that.
But yours has nothing to do with the Red Raiders. It has more to do with your Kansas.
Kansas because
State.
we haven't beaten them. I mean,
we have beaten them,
but not
recently.
Yeah.
But we have beaten them. It's not. Act
I know
like
we
they're
haven't.
35-0 against us lifetime.
I know, but there's plenty of PTSD of that team.
I have seen too many Red Raider teams, whether it be here or there, play against that purple uniform, that specific purple uniform, and shoot themselves in the foot the entire game.
Yeah, they'll probably roll out and they're all purple or something like that.
I don't care what they wear.
Yeah.
It's different than TCU purple. It's a little different. Completely living rent free in my head. Totally agree. But until it happens, I'm not picking the Red Raiders in that game.
Somebody asked this question, fellas. Will we be 12th on Monday? We're not going to go down because we didn't play, right?
Well, it's possible.
Sure, you could.
It's possible.
Do you think that?
Kansas State is 15-9 all time against the Red Raiders.
Okay.
But they have won 8 in a row.
8 in a row. 8 in a row. Somebody says this: if Tech is 8-0 at that point, they will be 7th or better. Well, Jeff had you at 5. Okay. Bobby Hot Dog says this: I don't see a loss on the schedule. Okay, well that's possible. Target on our backs.
What do they? Let's look here. Do they list college football playoff on the schedule like Chuck likes them to? They do not. So clearly, the football program didn't think they were going to make the college football playoff, right?
That's correct. I guess that's correct.
Going back to the texter, asking if we'd be 12th.
I'm looking at I'm looking at the basketball schedule.
Well, that's great. It's football season, and it's a football question.
All the way down to the Final Four to be determined.
If Ole Miss beats LSU at home, I could see you dropping because that's 13/4.
Yes, absolutely, and that would be fair.
Yeah. I guess either Oregon State, Penn State, that's a 3-6 matchup. Alabama beats Georgia, you'll go down.
You know, here's just a crazy thought about K-State. Just a crazy thought. There's a possibility you could get to November 1 What if Oklahoma State starts to make a run at Colin Klein, who's the offensive coordinator at Texas A&M, and the K-State, the Catbackers as they call themselves, look at Chris Klieman and go, I don't think he's our future. We want one of our own. Or do they look at other schools that hired alumni quarterbacks and it didn't go so well? They might look at Oklahoma State and went, it went pretty well with Mike Gundy.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
You'll hear baseball this afternoon. This is great. I love baseball in September in the afternoon, and playoff ramifications, which is what you have with the Astros and the A's today from Sacramento. 2:35 is first pitch, our broadcast at 2:05. The Rangers and the Twins, they're playing out the season.
They're playing for pride.
Playing for pride. And this also is, it's almost like rain delay theater kind of, because there's a lot of story time in this one.
I bet you love that.
I do love that. I love the the Rangers. I was listening to the pregame show yesterday on my way home, and they've done a really good job of integrating their whole broadcast, radio and TV, for pre and post, and they'll bring in some former players. And yesterday they brought in the Spanish broadcasters, a couple of former players, and they'll ask them trivia questions and things like that. So it makes it you get a little backstory on some things.
I'm not a huge fan of the combo broadcast, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Yeah, with the TV and radio all at once. I don't know. I don't think it's seamless.
It's not seamless.
It's very smooth.
Yeah, it's not seamless.
You can tell it sometimes they're talking to the
TV audience,
and other times, it just, yeah.
I get you, and that's more on the post game than it is on the pre-game, because they're showing highlights and stuff, and obviously you can't see those on the radio.
And it's
different.
That's a beatdown. Yeah. But you also know I don't really watch pre-games or
post-games.
Or pre-games.
Yeah.
Pre-games. I hate pre-games more than I do post-games.
Okay.
Post-games, you'd see some highlights or whatever, talk about the good stuff.
Yeah. But I have enjoyed the, clearly because I've talked about it ad nauseum, the Bruce Bochy show. I've enjoyed that. I wonder what his future is. I really, really, really wonder. I mean, they probably have to have some deep discussions, Chris Young and the owner and Bruce Bochy and his leadership team. It's like, okay, so what's our next step here? Are we reload or rebuild? And if it's reload, then I think he's in. If it's rebuild, I think he would say, I think somebody else could use a guy that's close but no cigar in terms of getting to the World Series.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm a World Series guy, is what he would say, I think.
They've got some serious money tied up in a few guys, though. It would be hard to
totally rebuild. Yeah.
Yeah.
With DeGrom and others, right? So who knows? Maybe they can convince him to come back, because I feel like that he has been a steady hand on this team. I mean, the steadiness kind of lost its way there when you went on that 8-game losing streak. But the Rangers also had some injuries, and then the young guys that they had brought in, they finally either ran out of gas, or they were playing above their ability and they started playing back down to their ability. Probably that's probably what happened more. Just you needed your clutch guys to really be clutch, and they may not have been available to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Let me throw this out at you. Tell me if you've heard of this. So there's an NFL owner, and apparently this particular person has been doing this for quite some time, who wears a headset on the sidelines of NFL games, listening to the plays of the coaches, okay, the play calling, and has spent significant time in the past in meetings, in the weight room, and it's really kind of gone unnoticed. But now that she is the real owner, because her dad was previously the owner,
right,
is now been heightened, and people are somewhat surprised by it. But announcers and players have defended her because she's been doing this all along, and the reason she's doing it, I think it makes some sense. Her name is Carly Irsay Gordon. She is the oldest daughter of Jim Irsay, who recently died, and the ownership passed down to his daughters. And Carly Irsay Gordon has been involved in the Colts, and she is the now new owner and chief executive officer. And she says this about wearing a headset during a game. She says, so much of it comes down to just how we operate and how things work, and the headsets, I would suggest it for anyone else that has to pay coaches and GMs millions and millions of dollars. It helps you make a less expensive mistake, potentially. I think that makes some sense.
I don't have an issue with it. I kind of heard about this, I don't know, I guess just a few weeks ago.
Okay.
And my point of this, or my first thought was, well, we've never heard of her being an issue. We've never heard her out in front of cameras. We've never heard her giving out information that she doesn't need to. We've never heard her making it about her. We've never heard that she's interrupted during the middle of games to, no, don't run that play.
Yeah, right.
In these meetings, we don't hear about anybody's. There's never been any complaint that, she's a distraction or she interrupts or anything like that. It sounds like she just wants to be a fly on the wall all the time. Okay, and know exactly what's going on, and know how to judge, analyze, whatever, the people that work for her.
Make smart decisions, right?
Right. And unless we hear from her coaches, her GM, whatever, that this is a problem, I think it's a non-story. I think it's great that she's involved, whether she's a male or a female in that position. Being involved, and she seems like a little bit of an odd duck. Okay, just kind of what we've seen from her, but seems like she's passionate about it and trying to figure out every way possible to help the franchise. And so as long as she's not a distraction or bothering the coaches, I have no issues with it.
Yeah, she says this. I think one of the things that I learned in going through, even as back as when we hired Chuck Pagano in 2012, is that sort of accelerated I need to learn more about this. I need to be able to say, is this person full of BS? Do they even know what they're talking about? And I think one of the things that being on the headset has really helped me learn is the question to earlier, is it such a complex organism of a football team and how it operates. So I agree with you. And I think, it's gotten more news because of how the Colts are playing now and the fact that she's now the official owner. But the fact that this has been going on for 10, 13 years speaks to what you just said about she's not out in front of a camera making a bunch of noise.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't want our boss sitting over here in the corner doing the show every day. I mean, we love him, but that would make me a little nervous.
Sure.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.